Hello, good people, and welcome to Singing Dawn. I'm Ellen Oak, and I'm so glad that you're here today. Today is day 33 of our chant practice, Rock. So get yourself settled, create space and time for our practice around you and also within you, and let's get started. Bright morning stars are rising, bright morning stars are rising, bright morning stars are rising. Day is a breaking in my soul. So, rock. We're going to look at the image of rock from three different perspectives today. First, rock as solid ground. This is the meaning that is implied in the way that rock appears in the psalm. Rock as solid ground, as anchor, as refuge, as stronghold. This is used as an image for God in the psalm, as haven, as safety. So the very fact that you are hearing me say this, that you are tuned into this video, means that you have chosen this chant practice as a rock for you day by day. A place to put your feet, to put your voice, to put your spirit step by step, day by day. And I am honored by your commitment to this practice. And I affirm you in your choice to make this your practice for 93 days. So as you chant, where is your rock? Where is your singing grounded and anchored? And I'd like to suggest just a return to something we talked about in the very first week, that we anchor our singing in our breath and in our flesh, and the way that those two come together is in what feels like from the inside, like a cry, a primal cry. So if you recall, it begins at the feet, but it's really about three hammocks. One at the pelvic floor, the part of your body that's in contact with the chair. One in the diaphragm, spreading under your ribs. And one in the throat, suspending your larynx. And then vibration in the skull. So I invite you to return to that cry. Press your feet into the floor. Actively press your pelvic floor into the chair. Press the diaphragm down and away. You want to feel the rock of your cry. It's paradoxical because that cry can make us feel foolish. It feels unarmed. It feels very naked to me and vulnerable and weak and sort of uncontrolled, unedited. And yet in that weakness and in that vulnerability, in the seed of that cry is our truth and our strength as singers and as souls. So I encourage you to feel that. It's pelvic floor, diaphragm, throat, with the skull vibrating and the feet connected to the floor. Second, let's think for a second about rock as an obstacle. I'm guessing that as you have made your way along this practice, you have come up against obstacles in your singing. Things that you don't like, things that frustrate and discourage you. We all do, all the time. This week, I again came across the saying of Marcus Aurelius. It comes from his Meditations, where he said, "The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacles to our acting. What stands in the way becomes the way." I'll say that again. The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacles to our acting, or the obstacles we encounter. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. So in my mind, I set this wise saying next to the line from Psalm 118, "The stone rejected by the builders has become the cornerstone. The obstacle becomes the way. The irrelevant becomes the center." So I hereby officially invite and encourage you to patiently, lovingly, wisely stay present to the obstacle that you experience in your singing, and to actually simply sing to it, address it in your singing. Vincent van Gogh wrote, "If you hear voices within you saying you cannot paint, then by all means go ahead and paint, and those voices will gradually be silenced." I say to you, don't try to avoid or ignore or cover up what you are struggling with vocally or spiritually. Be present to it, show up to it with curiosity and compassion. Sing to it. The obstacle you are experiencing is exactly the shape of what you need to take the next step in your journey. And third, just a practical tip that comes from thinking of the word rock as a verb. So when we cannot gain forward movement in facing an obstacle, let's try rocking. We did this again at the very beginning, side to side on our sit bones, back and forth, rocking over the top of the sit bones. So I commend this practice to you, and even to add a holding of yourself as you rock. Humming while you rock, also fantastic. Rocking has been a prime method of comfort and healing from time immemorial. For comforting and healing the sick, the wounded, the sorrowful, the very young, and the very old. Doing this may remind us all of being rocked in the waters of our mother's womb. God rocks us. So try on the image of rocking as you phrase the chant in our practice today. Think of the phrasing in the chant as the sound of rocking, as the sound of being rocked. That sense of gentleness and momentum and warmth of living flesh, of touching your own flesh, rocking yourself with the chant. So I invite all of us to play with these meanings and resonances of rock as we move into our practice today. the Holy Spirit, as always before, so now and forever. Amen. Take 3 breaths to rest, to listen to the chant with the ear of your soul, to receive it fully into your flesh. And finally, to release it into the cosmos. Thank you so much for showing up to the rock in your chanting today. See you tomorrow. Peace.